Hello and welcome to part 8 of Macros for the Terrified. I'm hoping that this will be the last in the series because I feel that when you've been through these you should hopefully no longer be terrified, and you can have a look at some of the other videos that I've produced, and especially those for FRedit, which will take you through step by step in what FRedit can do for you, but just keep it simple to start with. Use a few find and replaces that you're happy with and use those, and then gradually gain confidence. So today we're going to do just that, just do a few simple things, some of the more common ones, common find and replaces, and for some slightly more complex ones you don't actually need to know how they work, but you can pull them from a file called the FRedit library, which is one of the files that comes with the starter pack. So let's get started. Let's get rid of that. Let's have our FRedit list from last time. Let's have our document from last time, albeit with a few extra bits and pieces added to illustrate what I want to show you today. So we had last time we had problems with etc. because when we changed etc into etc full stop, then what happened was we ended up where there already was a full stop, as there is there. You ended up with two full stops. But because this is a series of find and replaces, we can do another find and replace after that first one. We can do etc full stop into and change it back etc full stop. Okay, let's try that. Let's put a colour on so you can see it more clearly. Okay, let's click in the document, run FRedit, and there you go. So you've got etc full stop as before, and this one, which has had changed to two full stops, has now gone back to one full stop. Okay, now the next thing to look at, down here we've got focusing, that's fine, but under it there we've got focusing with a capital F, and that has not been changed by this find and replace we've got here. So what we want to do is to catch all case versions. Now, normal find and replace is case insensitive unless you say otherwise, but with FRedit it is case sensitive unless you do something to change that. So it will only change the lowercase version, not the uppercase version. What we have to do then is to add an extra indicator to FRedit to show it that it's got to be case insensitive, and that is, I use the bent pipe symbol, which on my keyboard is above the back tick. So I add that symbol to the beginning of the line and then run FRedit again. Let's get rid of that one and let's have a clean version. So we're starting from scratch. Okay, so now run FRedit, and this time it's changed both the capital F version and the lowercase f version into an S. Right, so next one to think about is the let's make those so they're not quite so obtrusive. Let's get rid of the colour and add that. Okay, here for example we've got double spaces, and here as well. So two spaces into one space, that's a very useful tidying up find and replace. So space, space, into space. The only slight snag there is that you can't really see it, can you? So if I turn the visible formatting on, you can actually see that the spaces are represented by a dot there. And actually if I look at that space there and use watchar, which is again one of the macros in the starter pack, then that tells me that that's an ordinary space ASCII 32. So what we can do, so to make it clearer, is to replace that space with a caret symbol and the number 32. So that means that's the equivalent of a space. So it just makes it easier to see when we have not got visible formatting on there, we can see what's going on. The other one we want to change perhaps is space hyphen space into space dash space. Now how do we do a dash? Well, if you look in the normal find and replace box, which has come up on my other screen, here we go, down in special you've got a whole series of different characters, and here's one, n dash. So if I click on that, then what it's typed into the find box is caret, the up arrow symbol, and the equal sign. So that's what the word uses to represent n dash. So caret equal, and then instead of a space again, let's use a 32, so that we can actually see in the FRedit list what's going on. So let's get a clean version of the file. Start again. Here we go. So let's try that and run FRedit. So it's got rid of the spaces. That's now just a single space, and the hyphen, spaced hyphen, is now a spaced n dash. Now the next thing I want to do is to look at this here. We've got a number range with a hyphen, and we don't like that. We like to have a dash, but that's more difficult. So what we can do is we can get a find and replace from the FRedit library. So if I load the FRedit library, there we go, there it comes. Now in the FRedit library we can look for number ranges. So if it's a Word file, so I can search it electronically. So if I look for number range, here we go, number ranges. So there is a very complex looking find and replace that will change the number ranges. But that's fine, we don't need to understand what it's doing. If I select it, copy it and paste it into here at the end there, then that will allow me to do that find and replace and not worry exactly how it does it. Let's just see if it works. Let's move that out and get another clean copy. There we go. And so if we run FRedit, just open that out a bit so we can see it. There we go. And run FRedit, and there we go. So it's changed that to a number range with an n dash. So hopefully I've illustrated that if you want to do different find and replaces, you don't always have to work them out for yourself. You can just go to the FRedit library and look for what it is that you want to do, and then when you've done that you can save that file. That file there is now ready. I could save that and it will be ready for future use for another file. Okay, well that's it for now. I hope you found that helpful, and if you have any questions then do contact me. Alright, thanks for watching.